Math 5, Quarter 3, Week 7, Melc-Based. Let's learn about time measurement. Hello kids, it's me, Teacher Frel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell for the latest video. You can also follow my Facebook page, Teacher Frel TV. Welcome back kids! For today's lesson in Math 5, we will discuss about time measurement. For most essential learning competencies, measures time using 12-hour and 24-hour clock. Reads time in 12-hour and 24-hour clock. Calculates time in the different world time zones in relation to the Philippines. And solves problems involving time. In this lesson, you will demonstrate understanding time. As a learner, you are expected to A. Measure time using 12-hour and 24-hour clock. B. Calculates time in different world time zones in relation to the Philippines. And C. Solves problems involving time. Look at the pictures below. These are the objects used to tell time. Sundial, candle clock, water clock, gallery clock. Time influences our daily activities such that we should keep track of it. We have to use our time wisely. From ancient times to about the end of 16th century, sundials were used. Later, several devices were invented to keep time like the candle clock and the water clock. Today, we have more sophisticated watches, digital clocks, and other electronic devices to help us tell time. Notice that AM and PM are placed at the end to denote whether the time is in the morning or afternoon. They are abbreviation when the 12-hour clock is used. Antimeridiem or AM means this is after 12 midnight and before 12 noon. So 12:01 AM to 11:59 AM. Postmeridiem or PM means this is after 12 noon and before 12 midnight. So 12:01 PM to 11:59 PM. Meanwhile, the 24-hour clock, oftentimes called as military clock, since soldiers are the ones mostly use it, does not require AM and PM to be written after the time as it starts at 0000 hours, which is 12 midnight, then back to 0000 hours after 2300 and 59 hours, or 11:59 PM. Instead, H or hours is placed at the end to indicate the use of the 24-hour clock format. The table below shows the correspondence between 12-hour clock. In the first column, we have the 12-hour clock, and in the second column, we have 24-hour clock. In 12-hour clock, we have 12 midnight. If you are going to write this in 24-hour clock, it is written as 0000 hours. Next, 12:01 AM to 11:59 AM. If you are going to write this in 24-hour clock, it is written as 0001 hour to 11:59 hours. Then 12 o'clock noon to 11:59 PM. If you are going to write this in 24-hour clock, it is written as 1200 hours to 2359 hours. Look at the illustration below showing how to tell time using 12-hour and 24-hour clock. This clock is called 12-hour clock. And this clock is called 24-hour clock because this clock shows numbers 1 to 24. After 12, It continues numbers 13 up to 24. Let us take a look on this figure below. Have you been to the airport and see clocks with different times? Let us talk about world time zones and the time in the Philippines. Different times at different places in the world are caused by the movement of the Earth, 15 degrees longitude every hour. Since there are 24 hours in a day, there are 24 standard time zones, or 24 hours times 15 degrees equals 360 degrees. For example, if it is 5:07 in London or UK, it is also 5:07 a.m. in the places to the left and right of London and UK. If it is 6:07 a.m. in Paris or France, it is also 6:07 a.m. in the places to the left and right of Paris and France. Suppose it is 5:07 a.m. in United Kingdom, what do you think is the time here in the Philippines? To see the relationship of time in certain places to the time in our country, let us look at the table below and note that plus symbol means ahead and minus symbol means behind. Okay, so let's see the table here. We have 3 columns. In the first column, we have capital or countries. Then in second column, difference from Philippine Standard Time or PST. And in third column, we have examples. So let us take a look, Manila, Philippines. For example, the Philippine Standard Time is Saturday, 300 hours. Let's compare. Buenos Aires, Argentina. The difference or the PST is -11, that is behind. So that means if our time is Saturday, 300 hours, in their country, the time is Friday and that is 1600 hours. Next, Canberra, Australia. That is +2 or they are ahead of 2 hours. The day is Saturday and they are ahead of 2 hours, so that is 500 hours. Next, Beijing, China. So our time are the same. Their time is also Saturday, 300 hours. Cairo, Egypt, -6. That means they are behind. In our country is Saturday, 300 hours. In their country, it is Friday, 2100 hours. Next, Athens, Greece, -5. They are behind. So that means their time is Friday, 2200 hours. Next, New Delhi, India, -230. So that means they are behind. Their time is 030 hours. Next is Tokyo, Japan, +1. They are ahead of 1 hour. So that means if 300 hours in our country, in their country is 400 hours. Next is Vientiane, Laos, -1 or that is behind. Saturday, 200 hours. Next, Wellington, New Zealand, +4, ahead of 4 hours. Their time is Saturday, 700 hours. Next is Warsaw, Poland, -6. They are behind. Their time is Friday, 2100 hours. Next is Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, -5. Their time is Friday, 2200 hours. Next is Caracas, Venezuela, -12:30. That is Friday, 1430 hours. And Washington, USA, -12. So that means they are behind of 12 hours. If Saturday in our country, in their country it's only Friday and 1500 hours. We will be using the table above in identifying the time in a particular place as how it is related to the time in our country. Now, let us apply our understanding both in measuring time using 12-hour and 24-hour clock, and the world time zones and the time in the Philippines in solving word problem. Let us take this first example. A bus leaves Manila at 2200 hours in Thursday and arrives in Baguio hours later. At what time and day did the bus arrive in Baguio? Express your answer both in 12-hour and 24-hour clock formats. So in this problem, we will use the 4-step problem-solving process. The first step is to understand. Letter A, what is asked in the problem? At what time and day did the bus arrive in Baguio? Now express your answer both in 12 and 24-hour clock format. And letter B, what are given? A bus leaves in Manila at 2200 and 10 hours and arrives in Baguio 6½ hour later. Next step is to plan. You're going to add 6½ to 2210 hours, then express the answers both in 12-hour and 24-hour clock formats. Now the third step is to solve. You're going to add 6½ to 2210 hours, then express the answers both in 12-hour and 24-hour clock formats. 2210 hour is the same as 10:10 p.m. 6½ hour is the same as 6 hour and 30 minutes. And step 4, you're going to get the solution. So 24-hour and 12-hour. In 24 hours, the hours is 22 plus 6 equals 28 minus 24 equals 4. The minutes is 10 plus 30 equals 40. So in 12 hours, the hours is 10 plus 6 equals 16 minus 12 equals 4. Minutes, 10 plus 30 equals 40. Therefore, the bus arrived in Baguio at 440 hours Friday. And then the next step is check and look back. If you turn back 6 hours and 30 minutes and your answer is 2210 hours, then your answer is correct. And now, let us proceed to learning task 1. Fill in the table by converting from 12-hour clock to 24-hour clock and vice versa. So number 1 is 7:24 a.m. Convert it into 24-hour. The answer is 724 hours. Number 2, 3:35 a.m. In 24-hour, it is 335 hours. Number 3, 6:57 a.m. In 24-hour, it is 657 hours. Number 4, 11 o'clock a.m. In 24-hour, it is 1100 hours. Number 5, 7:51 a.m. In 24-hour, it is 751 hours. Number 6, 1200 hours. In 12-hour, it is 12 o'clock noon. Number 7, 2245 hours. In 12-hour, it is 10:45 p.m. Number 8, 1234 hours. In 12-hour, it is 12:34 p.m. Number 9, 2350 hours. In 12-hour, it is 11:50 p.m. And number 10, 2305 hours. In 12-hour, it is 11:05 p.m. Learning Task 2. Identify the time being asked. In the first column, we have the given. Second column, write this in 12-hour. And in third column, write this in 24-hour. So number 1 is midnight. In 12-hour, it is 12:30 a.m. And in 24-hour, it is 030 hours. Number 2, 2 hours to 9 o'clock p.m. In 12-hour, it is 7 o'clock p.m. In 24 hour, it is 1900 hours. Number 3, 5 to 2300 hours. In 12 hour, it is 6 o'clock p.m. In 24 hour, it is 1800 hours. Number 4, quarter after 0 hours. In 12 hour, it is 12:15 a.m. In 24 hour, it is 0:15 hours. Number 5, 3 hours and 2 minutes before 8:40 a.m. In 12 hour, it is 5:38 a.m. In 24 hour, it is 538 hours. For learning task 3, with the following given time in the Philippines, determine the equivalent time in the given country. Express your answers both in 12-hour and 24-hour clock formats. Number 1. If Philippine Standard Time is 230 hours, what time is it in Buenos Aires, Argentina? 230 hour means 2:30 a.m. In Buenos Aires, it is negative 11 or behind 11 hours. In 24 hours, it is 1530 hours. In 12 hour, it is 3:30 p.m. Number 2. If Philippine Standard Time is 5:15 a.m., in Canberra, Australia, the time is +2 or they are ahead of 2 hours. In 24 hour, it is 715 hours. In 12 hours, it is 7:15 a.m. Number 3. So quarter past 6 o'clock p.m. is 6:15 p.m. It is negative 12:30 or they are behind 12:30 or 12 hours and 30 minutes. In 24 hour, it is 545 hours. In 12 hour, it is 5:45 a.m. Number 4, half past 8 o'clock p.m. means 8:30 p.m. In Washington, USA, the time is negative 12 or behind 12 hours. In 24 hours, it is 830 hours. In 12 hour, it is 8:30 a.m. And for number 5, quarter before 1 o'clock a.m. means 12:45 a.m. What time is it in Athens, Greece? It is negative 5 or behind 5 hours. In 24 hour, it is 1945 hours. In 12 hour, it is 7:45 p.m. For assimilation, let's read the problem. Jamie is a 5th grade student from Gatid Elementary School. She is advised to answer her first module at 8 o'clock a.m. She needs 10 minutes to eat her breakfast, 20 minutes to take a bath, 10 minutes to get dressed. If she wants to answer her first subject at 8 o'clock a.m., what time does Jamie need to start preparing for her first module? Use the 4 steps in solving word problem and express your answer in 12-hour and 24-hour clock. So we will use the 4-step problem solving process. The first step is to understand what is asked in the problem. So the time does Jamie need to start preparing for her first module? And what are the given facts? The given facts are 10 minutes to eat breakfast, 20 minutes to take a bath, 10 minutes to get dressed, and 8 o'clock a.m. Step 2 is to plan. What operation will be used? So the operation to be used is addition and subtraction. What is the number sentence? 8 o'clock a.m. minus 10 minutes plus 20 minutes plus 10 minutes equals n. Step 3 is to solve. 8 o'clock a.m. minus 10 plus 20 plus 10 equals n. Let's add first inside the parentheses. 10 plus 20 plus 10 equals 40. Now, subtract 8 o'clock a.m. minus 40 minutes equals, the answer is 7:20 a.m. Jamie needs to start preparing for her first module at 7:20 a.m. so that she can be able to answer her first module at exactly 8 o'clock a.m. Now, express the answer both in 12-hour and 24-hour clock format. In 12-hour, the time is 7:20 a.m. In 24-hour, the time is 720 hours. And fourth step is to check. If you add 40 minutes at 7:20 a.m., is the answer 8 o'clock a.m.? If so, your answer is correct. Now for the assessment, solve the following word problem. Number 1. A train is leaving Divisoria on Monday late afternoon and is supposed to arrive in Naga at 10:33 a.m. on Tuesday. If the estimated journey time is 10 hours and 20 minutes, at what time should the train leave Divisoria? Express your answer both in 12-hour and 24-hour clock formats. In 12-hour, the time is 12:13 a.m. And in 24-hour, the time is 0:13 hours. Number 2. Elijah plans to visit aunt who lives in the town next to theirs. He leaves their town at 9:30 a.m. Monday. The journey takes 2 hours and 20 minutes. At what time and day will Elijah see his aunt? The answer is, he will see his aunt at 11:50 a.m. Monday. Number 3. Clarice is an online math teacher here in the Philippines and her students are in Canberra, Australia. What time should she go online if her first session starts at 7 o'clock a.m. in Canberra? The answer is 5 o'clock a.m. She should go online at 5 o'clock a.m. Number 4. Luigi was invited by his cousin to visit Canada. The trip from Philippines to Canada is 14 hours and 30 minutes. If the plane left the Philippines at 6 o'clock a.m., what time will he be able to arrive in Canada? The answer is 8:30 p.m. He will be able to arrive in Canada at 8:30 p.m. And number 5, Tony lives in Japan. His brother Andre lives in the Philippines. Their grandmother is in India and wants both boys to call at 2 p.m. in Japan and Philippine time. For letter A, what time in India will Tony call? So Tony should call at 10:30 a.m. Letter B, what time in India will Andre call? So he should call at 11:30 a.m. So kids, do you understand our lesson today? Wow! Good job! Kids, I hope you learn a lot from this lesson. Until our next topic, bye-bye kids! Thanks for watching!